So I get questioned all the time as to when is Congress going to pass a certain bill? When is President Biden going to do this promise? When is he actually going to go and sign this executive order? And I want to be very clear. President Biden and the White House have been stringing along the American people for quite some time, and they're going to do it once again. Now, I can tell you from just me personally, I don't know what's going to happen. And a lot of people ask you, well, you don't know anything. You're not in the White House, and you are 100% correct. I do not know any more than what anybody else would know, but I do my research. I do a lot of research on articles, and I watch interviews, and I watch different videos and news reports, and listen to some of these boring live reports from the White House press secretary almost on a daily basis. So here's what I can tell you. The Biden administration is going to string along the American people once again. And I say this because, do you remember when more than a month ago, President Biden said he would come out and he'd have an answer within the week on student loan forgiveness for the American people? Well, that week it came and it went, and we never heard anything about it. More than a month later, the White House press secretary comes on today and she says that President Biden will have an answer for student loan forgiveness by August 31st. And everyone's thinking, oh, good, we're going to have an answer. Of course, we're going to have an answer by August 31st, because that is when the student loan payment pause expires. So he really doesn't have a choice. He has to figure something out before then. Or he can extend the student loan payment pause. Again, just stringing along the American people. Now, I want to talk about that decision for a minute, but I want to do that in just a second. The reason why is because, and the reason why I want to address this is because what's happening is exactly what's happening in Congress as well. Lawmakers have known for a while, specifically Democratic lawmakers, if they do not pass a bill, and a substantial bill, then they are going to lose in the midterm elections. The reason why that is a huge problem is because even though the American people have been suffering for the past 2.5 years, it didn't matter. Because according to multiple reports, what lawmakers have known for quite some time, and again, specifically Democratic lawmakers, is they would pass a bill. Except it was going to happen closer to the midterm elections so that the American people don't forget what Democrats provided for them. Now, this takes us to student loan forgiveness. One of the issues that debt holders have is they're just being strung along and they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to be required to pay back their loans, their student loans. They don't know when this executive order would actually happen and when it would officially take place. Would it begin on day one? Would it begin in 2023? We don't know. We don't have these answers. And then there's still a small chance that these borrowers would need to make loan payments, including interest, in less than 21 days. These are all possibilities. But it's not just President Biden stringing along the American people regarding student loan forgiveness. He's doing the same thing for Social Security recipients as well, who've been promised $200 monthly boosts. We don't see that happening. He's been stringing along lower income households as well that were promised more affordable housing and some additional relief. Now, President Biden, he also promised that he would get Congress to work together. And yet all we're seeing right now is partisan bills. So it's not the greatest news. And again, President Biden has been stringing along the American people in regards to inflation as well, because lately the White House decided to put all the blame on two people. Put all the blame on the American people, which is just absurd. They're telling us that we are spending too much money and we are the reason why we're getting inflation that runs hotter and hotter. Good news is today is inflation came down. It was at 9.1%. Officially today it's 8.5%. So that's some good news there. But is that just because the American people are running out of money? Or is it because we are tired of spending money on something that's more expensive? I can tell you that's where I'm at. Now, I'm all for going to spend money on something that I need, but if I can hold off on a purchase, especially a major purchase, for an additional 6 months or a year, I'm going to do that. I do not want to spend money right now. I want to save as much as I can, invest as much as I can. The stock market is probably going to go on a run with the inflation report coming in less than expected. So that's good news there. But the other person that President Biden is putting all the blame on is the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He's saying it's all because of Russia. Again, I don't think we can keep buying this. I don't think we can believe this. When we were experiencing higher inflation, it wasn't runaway inflation. It wasn't as high as it is now, but we were experiencing inflation back in the beginning of January, even in December and October, November of last year as well. So it's not just because of Vladimir Putin and Russia invading into Ukraine that actually happened in February. That actually happened after. Now, it may have contributed, but again, it's not the whole reason. And so that's where a lot of people are at, is they're getting tired of not just President Biden himself, but the entire administration just stringing along the American people and promising them that if you vote for a Democrat in the upcoming elections, well, Democrats are going to give you everything that you want. And that's not necessarily true. And I want to touch on that for a second, because a lot of Democrats say that, yes, you vote for us, we will get you, student loan forgiveness. We will get you, family medical leave. We're going to expand Social Security. We're going to expand Medicare. We're going to provide free community college, right? Raise the minimum wage to $15 per hour on a federal level, right? We've heard all these things before. Some are still even saying that, no, we're not going to give you a stimulus check, but yes, we will provide you with an inflation check to help you pay down your bills, to help you put food on the table, keep a roof over your head. That's what we're hearing. So again, it's not just President Biden that's stringing along the American people, it's the entire administration and almost every government official. Now, why is this important? This is so important because we are coming into the midterm elections. We are less than 3 months away from the midterm elections. Again, it's a very important time, because if Democrats do not hold on to their majority in the House and the Senate, and they flip to Republican, President Biden, who's a Democrat, is going to have a difficult time getting anything passed. Because I can tell you right now, it's not just me personally, there is almost every single expert out there. I think 100% of experts out there, 100% of economists believe the exact same thing, is if President Biden is stuck with a Republican Congress, that means a House and a Senate that are majority Republican. The problem with that is there will not be another bill that passes. It would have to be a very bipartisan bill, which is going to be tough, because Republicans are not going to want to come forward, spend a lot more money, which is exactly what Democrats will want, especially if we're continuing to see inflation and we still have this much of a deficit. $30 trillion. This is something that we need to address, and we need to address it soon. And Democrats don't seem to really be working on that outside of Senator Joe Manchin. So we're going to see what happens. But again, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.